Good evening, everybody. My name is Fred Santini. I want to welcome you to the Shining Through first ever virtual fundraising event. We have a great show tonight. On the agenda tonight, we have George Clooney, Marilyn Monroe, and Jennifer Lopez. I'm lying, we don't have any of those. But we have a wonderful show, and I'm happy that you all took the time to log in tonight and to help our cause. It's been a while, but we're back, and thank you very much. But before we go on, I want to introduce Julian Trozzo to sing our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, and all thy sons command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Canada.
Thank you, Julian. That was great. Julian is a current student Shining Through. He's been with the organization for a few years. He's one of our great success stories. Before we go on any further, I want to take some time to thank the fundraising committee for putting this all together. It's been a lot of work and a lot of hours committed to having this event put together tonight. Specifically, I want to thank John DiBartolo, Umberto Martini, Lucy Alfanor, Dino Ianello, Tanya Posh, and Joseph Trozzo. And of course, I want to thank Eminence for putting on tonight's event for us. They did a great job for us. I also want to take the opportunity to thank the board, the volunteer board that have helped Shining Through get to where they are today. That includes Joseph Trozzo again, Anna Martini, Lucy Alfanor, Anthony Diodono, Deborah Eber, Ryan McInerney, John Hurahan, Vince Galea, John Di Massimo, and Cesare Pandolfo. This is our very first virtual gala. I got to be honest with you, I'm unaccustomed to talking to a camera. I'm used to talking to 1,400 people, which somehow seems more comfortable because I feel like I'm talking to my friends. But I see Joe Trotz over there, so I'll talk to him as if he's in my living room right now, and it'll make it easier for me to speak tonight. 2020 was our last gala. We had 1,400 people that night, and ironically, 2020 was the last event before the major shutdown because of COVID. I remember that night making the joke, thinking this was nothing more than a 2-week problem, that all the Corona beers were going to be removed from the bars just to make sure that we don't have any problems with the coronavirus. Little did I know back then. So, what's new? What's been happening the last 19 months? Crazy year, for sure. One of the things that has basically hit the last 19 months is fear. Fear is a very, very powerful emotion. It can lead to many things. One is paralysis. Paralysis in a human being in terms of not being able to do anything, stuck where you are, just fearful of making the next move. We saw paralysis in today's community or during the beginning of the lockdowns and from family distancing. We were celebrating Christmases and Easter and all the other holidays without our family, just out of the fear because of the unknown and the uncertainty. Fear is also a very big motivator and a driver. And if I dare say, Shining Through today exists because of fear. It's one of the main reasons why we are here today. The fear of 5 fathers who had children attending a center in Newmarket and advancing because of a therapy they were receiving, only to find out that that center was going to be shut down and they had nowhere to go. So the 5 of them took it upon themselves to create Shining Through. the families of these 5 families did everything they possibly could do to help create Shining Through, because they were worried about the quality of life of their child, the future of their child, the advancements that they had made during this period while they were at the other center that was going to be lost forever. There was no heroics on our part. There was no big picture. It was just pure dedication of love to our children, a dedication to our child and our family, and fear of them having a better future. And that's how Shine Through got created. Many of you know that I'm one of the founding fathers of it, and my son Freddie was the impetus for me to getting involved. Freddie has been a real motivator for me in continuing to do what I do today for Shine Through, despite the fact that he was the first graduate long ago. Back in 2020, our last gala, I mentioned that Freddie, despite the fact that he already has congenital heart disease and is autistic, was diagnosed with lymphoma. I'm happy to say that Freddie's in remission now, but I'm unhappy to say that I just left the hospital yesterday after spending 5 days with him as he's undergoing further tests to find out what's wrong with him now. Hopefully it's nothing, but I appreciate your thoughts and prayers. But anyway, while he's in the hospital, it makes me appreciate the things that he went through while at Shining Through and the things that he learned at Shining Through. I could see it when he's talking to a nurse. I can see it when he's explaining how he feels to a doctor. I can see it when he's understanding what a doctor or nurse are asking him to do. And that wouldn't have been possible without the help that Shining Through gave to him. During this 19-month period, there has been a lot of uncertainty. It's been unprecedented times, that's for sure, in a very divisive world. I mean, without getting into politics and vaccinations, non-vaccinations, it's been a terrible time as far as the community goes. It's a whole new world that we're trying to adapt to and we're trying to learn from it. One of the certainties that still exists today is Shining Through is still here. And Shining Through is still providing top-notch leading therapy to their kids, young children and young adults. They had to transition, they had to adapt, they had to show a level of resilience never seen before to provide both telehealth services to the families and the children and then in-person services as well. So in that regard, I'd love to thank Sherry Bartman, Tanya Posh, and the rest of the staff at Shining Through for the dedication and the hard work that they put in to make sure that the families weren't left out during this period. Certainty also exists today because we are still here. And we are still doing what we do, and we still need your help. There's certainty also in the fact that I believe there's a sense of community stronger today than ever before, and I believe that human spirit for helping others still exists and is still strong as ever. As we know, government funding for autism programs has always been a topic of conversation, and I bring it up every year, but right now we're really uncertain as to where it's going to go. The reality is we can't rely on that. We need to rely on, unfortunately, the pockets of the parents of the kids that come to Shining Through and your pockets. So one thing is still certain, we still need your help. Shining Through today continues to grow. Shining Through today continues to be a beacon of one of the better institutions for kids with autism in Ontario. As you know, we have 3 locations. Our original location in Woodbridge, our North York location, our location in Streetsville. We also have a remote location in Thunder Bay that we're providing services. Our clinical director, Sherry Bartman, provides consultation to other centers and other organizations across Ontario, which is a real feather in our cap for Shining Through. We have the Learning to Live program for the older children. Shining Through started off as an organization for young kids. We've seen these kids grow. We've seen that they still need some help. So now we have the Learning to Live program. We're also happy to say, but also need to advise everybody that our North York Yonge Street location is moving. We found a new location the City of Toronto has helped us get into. Unfortunately, that's going to require about a $500,000 infusion of cash from Shining Through, which we don't have, hence tonight's event. Our target tonight is to raise $100,000. I'm hoping that's low, but I'm hoping that we'll be able to do what you've always done in the past and provide the necessary funds to keep Shining Through going. You've been a great supporter of ours. We'd love to have you back in the big gala setting. In fact, in March, we're looking to do it again. Unfortunately, we're doing it by virtual showing tonight, but we know you've always been behind us and supporting us, and I know I can rely on you again. We got a great show tonight. We got some great celebrities doing their part and showing some montages of videos in the past of past events and the kids at the center. So I hope you stay on, and I hope you help Shining Through. Thank you, everybody. I'd like to acknowledge our event sponsors. We were very lucky this year to have Metropia contribute a huge amount of money for this event. And I think one of our new board members was critical in getting that for us. But Metropia was a significant sponsor this year, and I hope we can continue to rely on your support over in the next few years. Also want to acknowledge Ground Layer, our good friend Robert Grunlegger, who got us involved with the Yonge Street location a while back and continues to be one of our strongest supporters. And thank you, Robert, for continuing to support Shining Through. Our gold sponsors include Connections, Masters Insurance, International Cheese, Townwood Homes, Alco Lighting, Active Fire Systems, York Sheet Metal, Metro Carpentry, and Red Studio Architects, Inc. I'd like to especially acknowledge Red Studio because they took a significant discount on the work that they're doing to help us secure the Yonge Street location. The silver sponsors that deserve mentioning tonight are Swimming Pool Builders, NXT Level Flooring Solutions, Inc., New Image Kitchens, Inc., KC Structural Limited, Michael Ayurulo, The Piano Boutique, and Jolera Group. Thank you again, everybody. Next on the agenda is our Mayor, Mauricio Bevilacqua. Thank you.
I'm pleased to extend greetings to everyone attending the 22nd Annual Shining Through Gala. Each year, this event brings the community together to support individuals living with autism and their families. The Shining Through Center has a noble mission of helping children and youth with autism reach their full potential. For more than 20 years, this organization has made a meaningful and positive difference by providing therapeutic and educational programs and services. I want to express my sincerest gratitude to the organizers, volunteers, and donors who have helped make this event a success year after year. With your ongoing support, we will continue moving our city forward without leaving anyone behind.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're logged on tonight, you can see the donation page on our website. There it allows you to make a donation to Shining Through, either a one-time amount, a monthly amount, an annual amount. It also allows you to specifically mention a family member if you'd like. There's the message part at the bottom of the page, there, and it allows you to make your donation specifically to a child, and those funds will go to the tuition subsidy for that particular child. Obviously, every donation you can make will be well appreciated, and thank you very much for all your help. So again, I ask you to look at that page and make your donations as soon as possible. Next on the agenda is celebrity personalities that we have. We have some radio broadcasters that have been very fond and very supportive of Shining Through, and we like to acknowledge their support tonight. Thank you.
Hi there, it's Tony Monaco from Z1035. I hope everybody's enjoying the live stream tonight. I just want to take this opportunity on behalf of my wife, Romina Monaco, and myself to thank everybody that's been involved with Shining Through Center for Children with Autism. It was first founded back in 1999 by 5 families, and in 2001 it came to fruition. It's known as a leader and a world-class facility, and it's amazing what so many people have done. So thank you to the workers, to the staff, to the volunteers, everybody involved with the live stream here tonight, and hopefully everybody comes through. People have been coming through for the last 20 years, and we couldn't do this without your generous donations. So keep donating, everybody, and keep shining.
Hey, this is Joey Vendetta, and I'm here to tell you that I'm fully supportive of Shining Through and the Shining Through Center and the Gala. And if you want more information on it, you can go to shiningthrough.ca. But kids with autism, it's touched my life. I have some friends and family whose children are mildly autistic, and some of them are severely autistic, but all of them are very special. And I think it's incredible what Shining Through is doing, and I wish them nothing but success. And if you're dealing with a child with autism, my respect to you, and we all deserve.
Thank you, Tony, and thank you, Joey Vendetta, for your support. You guys have been great for us, and we really appreciate it. At this point in time, I want to acknowledge and thank our tremendous supporters and longtime friends, St. Louis Wings. Brent and Sue Polton and their staff have been huge supporters of Shining Through, and without them, we probably wouldn't be where we are today. I can't tell you the amount of money they've raised overall. But I can tell you this year alone, which was not one of their stronger years, but a great year nevertheless, was still $200,000. They have been incredible supporters of Shining Through. So I just want to show you a little video clip of our friends, and thank you to them. And if I may say, please support your local St. Louis Wings establishment. Thanks.
You don't have a choice with autism. The children don't have a choice, and the families don't have a choice. And what we need to do is to create opportunity. And the way we're going to create opportunity is by increasing awareness. And that is what I'm going to ask each and every one of you to take.
St. Louis Franchise Limited, all St. Louis Bar and Grill franchisees, all of our friends. That's who's here. We would like to present a check for
Blackburn here at St. Louis Bar and Grill in Woodbridge. It's been a long, strange road since the last time we talked, and unfortunately we haven't seen any of our friends from Shining Through in the meantime, and we do miss them a lot. They added a lot to our culture and to the happiness that we had in our restaurant. They did a great job for us, and I know that they enjoyed being here, and we just can't wait to get them back again, and hopefully this stuff all passes over in the near future so that we can get them all back in, because we really do miss them and their contributions to the restaurant.
We just want to thank St. Louis once again for being you guys are so dedicated, so awesome, so supportive of the children and Shining Through. We just want to thank you once again for your continuous efforts.
Thank you very much, Brent and Sue, and of course Bruce Stevens too has been very instrumental. And the last gentleman was the owner of the franchise at Highway 27, Highway 7, who's been phenomenal for Shining Through. At this point in time, I want to announce and introduce my good friend, Juno Award winner, world-renowned known music artist, Robert Michaels.
Hi, my name is Robert Michaels, and it's an honor and a pleasure to have been a supporter of Shining Through for the last 20 years or so. I hope you too can join me in support of this great cause, helping these families and kids. Right now, I'm going to play you a track off of my very first album called Sunset Samba, and it goes something like this.
Thank you, Robert. That sounded great. Sounded a little bit better if you had a rhythm guitarist, meaning me, playing with you, but otherwise it was fantastic. Thank you very much. At this point in time, many of you in the past have heard me talk about the all-star that we have in Sherry Bartman. She's our clinical director. She's responsible for making the children get the life that they probably deserve and the future that they're entitled to. She's a wonderful young lady. I had hired her a long time ago to work with my son in my home, and then she went on to become one of the leading experts in this field. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to present Sherry Bartman in a short interview that we did earlier this week. Good evening. For years, you heard me talk about Sherry Bartman, the clinical director of Shining Through. Well, I have the pleasure tonight of interviewing Sherry, and she'll be here tonight to answer some stimulating questions and advise everybody with everything that's going on at Shining Through. So Sherry, say hello.
Hello.
As you can appreciate, the pandemic has had a real impact on the rest of the world, and including, obviously, the learners at Shining Through, who rely so heavily on routine. What can you tell me has been the impact on the center and the staff at Shining Through because of the pandemic?
Yeah, well, obviously it was a difficult time for everybody. At the beginning, we really didn't know what would happen. Obviously, like everybody else, we had to shut our doors for a short time. And like we always do, we figured out some solutions. So we very quickly did a pivot to telehealth service delivery. We really didn't know how this would work for our families. Our kids have such varying needs, and families have such varying needs. And we really didn't know how this would look. We were incredibly pleasantly surprised, not only at how our learners and their families were able to kind of roll with the punches, but the amazing and committed work of our therapists who just changed course, figured out how to deliver ABA, via screen. It looked very different for different families, but all in all, I would say we were pleasantly surprised. Our staff had opportunities to have a pretty intimate look at what families actually are dealing with every day, and have, an appreciation for how maybe difficult it can be, but also how amazing it can be when your kid's learning something new for the first time and you can see it as a parent. It was difficult. It still remains difficult, but it's been a journey that I think has taught us a lot about the resilience of our staff and our families.
I can appreciate that. Obviously, as a parent of someone with autism, change is never a good thing for the children. So having to go through all that has been a remarkable story and quite a great success. So we're starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel, which is great. What message would you like to get out to our parents and the supporters watching this event tonight?
I think that we have resumed a lot of sort of normal. We opened our doors and we're providing service. We're providing ABA. And in order to do that, families need support. They need support of the community. The funding landscape in Ontario continues to change and evolve, and I do have some concerns about what that will mean for our families who are currently funded as the new program unfolds. And I think, as always, relying on our community has been key to allowing us to be successful and keeping our doors open and being operational, and for our families to be able to access the intensive supports that they really desperately need for their kids. And so just continuing to provide the support that this community so awesomely does annually is really still key.
I agree, and I think one of the messages we've always tried to deliver at all our galas is basically the two objectives that we have. One, the need for funds to continue doing what we do, but also the need for increased awareness so that families can help other families that are in this situation. Finally, what could we tell our people in terms of what they can do to help us tonight?
I think just continue to be here for us and for the families. I think cliche, but really does take a village, not only financial support, but social support. Being a family raising a child with autism can feel isolating. It can feel like, you're in it all on your own. So having a community, having a family, being able to reach out when you need something, not just financial, but for peace of mind, for friendship, for just connectedness with other families is so critical. So just continuing to be there like you always have for our families over the years is critical.
I agree. It's not always just about the money. The actual having the support of the families to have somebody to fall back on and to a little bit of respite from time to time is almost as equally as important as having the financial support.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you,
and
Fred.
keep doing the great work that you do.
Thank you.
Hey there, my name is Andrew Didiano. I am a learner at Shining Through. I want to thank all my Shining Through teachers and supporters for making me shine. Shining Through, where learners shine.
All right.
Ready?
Ready.
Hi everybody, I am Freddie Settini. I am one of the first student of Science Room. And first graduation because of Science Room. I am able to stay at home by myself, so my parents can't go out. I can order my own pizza by phone, and I can make my own pasta with sauce. But Mom doesn't want me to. I want to thank Science Room and all you for all your help. Thank you.
Thank you to Shine Through from the bottom of my heart. You helped me try so hard to speak into other cool things. You also helped me calm down when there's a problem. Thank you, Michelle, Anthony, and Stephanie. Bye.
Thanks, Jiffy. What else to put?
Push the button.
Thank you, Shining Through, for helping me learn how to communicate.
Thank you, Shining Through, for helping me.
I hope you enjoy the clips of our children. They're just wonderful. They keep us doing what we do, and that's the reason why we're here tonight. At this point in time, I want to show you a clip of, I mentioned earlier in the evening, of the founding members, the founding fathers of Shining Through, an eclectic bunch of different people, different personalities with one common bond, doing what we can for our kids. And I thank God for the ability to meet them, the opportunity to meet them and to know them and consider them my friends, aside from my colleagues and co-founders of Shining Through. So please enjoy this video.
It's an honor and pleasure to be here with the 6 founding members of the Shining Through Center. Fred, we're going to start with you. Over 20 years ago, you guys came together to create the Shining Through Center. Can you talk a little bit about the early days and how you guys came together to form the Shining Through Center?
Actually, Joe, it's an interesting story. I had the fortuitous pleasure of meeting these 4 gentlemen, Ted, Umberto, John, and Val, because our children were attending a center privately run in Newmarket, and we had helped the owner of that property, of that particular project, to at a fundraiser. And then a few months later, he called us up to tell us that he was going bankrupt and he was going to shut down the center. The 5 of us sat there out of fear of having to go home and telling our wives that our kids had nowhere to go, and one of us, or all of us, decided, why don't we do it? So Shining Through effectively was created that night on the basis of fear for our own children. We got together. John DiMassimo was one of my best, not my best friend, and he joined us right from the get-go, and we incorporated a not-for-profit organization and got charitable status, and then we set out to create Shining Through Center. And it's been over 20 years that we've been doing this now.
Incredible. Val, now that you guys came together and you needed an actual facility to bring your kids to, can you tell us a little bit about how the Woodbridge location came to be and how you found that location?
Yeah, I'm Val Girardi, and my son Matthew has been part of Shining Through since the beginning. Obviously, we were at Newmarket with all our kids. In 2002, we just decided that we were going to get a place of our own. We didn't want to have the responsibility of having our kids fail because there wasn't something for them. So we approached Vaughan Council, if I remember right, and they basically said to us that, why don't you go see this developer? And they had moved this 1899 house 150 yards or whatever it was down the road. And we went to the developer. I think we gave them $100,000, if I recall, for the shell. And we started to work, and we started breaking things in March, ripping down walls, doing everything. And we realized right away that there was no way we were going to finish in time. So what we did is we started deciding to go there every single day. So, I had a small construction company. I got up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I would show up around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And we would leave the place at around 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, which meant that I didn't see Alyssa or Matthew, my kids, either at 6 o'clock in the morning or at 9 o'clock at night because they were always sleeping, right? And we worked from March until December 23rd when we poured the cement for the steps. Along the way, we bled, we sweat, we took money out of our own. Forget about the promises that we made to people to get the materials and everything else. And, eventually we got to where we are today. But I think it stands as a testament to all of us that this building represents a lot. It represented all our hopes, all our dreams, and something that's hopefully going to last for the kids in the future, because we did it for our children. We didn't do it for our glory or anything else. So hopefully that's what will remain.
Incredible. Thanks, Val. And, John, now that you had a center and you had somewhere to bring your children, can you touch on a little bit about how you went about finding staff and the early days when it comes to therapy and how therapy looked like in the early days?
So I guess when you're talking about staffing, you got to kind of go back to our humble beginnings. Not only were we in a facility that was basically a storage room of a boiler room, we also, in Canada at that time, there was really no therapist. There was no, this industry was barely in its infant stage. So our issues were we were going to have to try to figure out how we were going to be able to staff this center with the lack of therapists out there. So around the same time of us building the center, we ended up having the government initiative came out, and we realized that the only way we were going to be able to fill this center, which we knew was going to cost between $1.2 to $1.5 million a year to run the center, was if we were able to tap into that government funding. So we joined forces with a third-party agency, allowed us to become government approved right off the hop. We, in one day, approved all 10 of our kids for the government program, and we're on our way. And ever since then, the relationship with that third-party agency didn't work out, and we had to move on from that. But from that day forward, we were able to stay government approved for the last, I guess, 18 years. So yeah, and that's pretty much it. And we knew that Cherie was our star right from day one. We let her go to the government program to get the training and the accreditations she needed. We always knew that the center was for her. We were building the center for her. And 10 years to the date, she came back and started running our program.
Fantastic. Humberto, you've been instrumental in putting on annual galas for the Shining Through Center that are incredible, that create the awareness, and you continue to be instrumental. Can you just touch on a little bit about what you feel the annual galas do for the Shining Through Center?
Okay, my name is Humberto Martini, and along with my wife, Anna, we have two young adults, Josh and Noah, that are now 24 and 23 years old. They started at Shining Through when they were 2 and 3 years old. So Noah currently has graduated from center, and Josh is in the Live to Learn to Live program.
Yeah.
Program. First and foremost, the gala, we run galas to raise money. We need the money, obviously, to put on the essential programs that we provide, and also to keep costs down for parents. But one of our mandates has always been the awareness component of it. The awareness component of it, we try to share with our community that this disorder, how it affects the child, how it affects the families, and how it affects the community around us. So with that, there's that saying that it takes a village to raise a child. right? So that could be that could not be more true than at Shining Through. Today, because of the COVID restrictions, we are forced to take a different approach, as in tonight, and through this new platform, it gives us an opportunity to broaden our audience outside or not limited to the proximity to a venue. My hope is that we can create a broader village to support these children and their families.
Thank you, Humberto. Ted, moving on to you. You were definitely instrumental in the early days, being on the board and with your accounting background, helping with the finances of the center and taking care of the finances. But you were also instrumental in a lot of the corporate awareness and the corporate sponsorships that Shining Through is blessed to have. Can you just touch on a little bit about that and your experience with gathering corporate support for the Shining Through Center?
Sure, Joe, thanks. I'm Ted Leader. My son Philip attended the center. You know, coincidentally, driving down here, I heard a David Bowie song, You Could Be a Hero Just for One Day. And I thought that really encompasses fundraising and corporate awareness, that the heroes are the people who are helping other people. And when you see the children and the young adults at Shining Through, you see the benefits of the fundraising and the great therapy work that we're doing. And you really appreciate where your dollars are going. And one of the heroes, there are two heroes. There are the heroes who are donating. There are heroes, are the children who are receiving the benefits, and of course the staff. One of our heroes is Brent and Sue Poulton of St. Louis Bar and Grill, who we approached about 20 years ago for a simple $20 gift certificate. That's all. We just wanted a donation, $20 gift certificate. Through their blessings and their greatness, they've donated well over $1 million to Shining Through. And through their efforts and their generosity, and the franchise owners and the store owners, they're helping to keep the center alive, and they're giving the children a chance. And that's really what corporate responsibility is giving back to the community, giving back to the children who need it the most and will benefit from it the most. You know, what we've done, we're just the conduit to getting the results, and it's doing a great job, and we're very grateful for it.
Thank you, Ted. Great story. John, maybe last to you here, John. You are an instrumental part of the board of directors and have been on the board ever since inception. Your passion for this center is unparalleled. Can you talk to our audience a little bit this evening about why you have such passion for the Shining Through Center and such passion for kids with autism?
Thank you, Joe. And to begin with, I mean, I got interested in this because my best friend, Fred, has a little boy now, an adult, young adult, that had a need. When you see them struggle in their youth and you're looking for opportunities to try and create an opportunity for them to become a little bit more self-sufficient in life, you really take good inspiration and joy out of seeing somebody progress through that avenue and see them come into adulthood and be a little bit more self-sufficient. That in itself gives me great satisfaction, keeps you passionately involved in the actual center. When you see the 5 founding families and you see what struggles they've been through, that to me means everything. Family is what keeps this center together. Community is definitely there for us continually. We are part of that community. I think as a family going forward, this is the way it needs to operate. And that keeps me involved. I've always been involved because of that. And I like to see people at least get to the next stages of their lives, become a little bit more self-sufficient.
Thank you, John. I just want to say to our viewers this evening that on behalf of all of the families of the Shining Through Center, past and present, and as a parent with a child with autism myself, to the 6 of you, unbelievable thanks from the bottom of my heart and from the bottom of all the parents, past and present. I want to thank the 6 of you for what you've done. You've impacted lives. You've created a legacy that will last for a long, long time. So I just want to say thank you to the 6 of you for your commitment, for your sacrifices, for your devotion. Your impact has been humongous. And Fred, I'm going to go to you for the last question here. Shining Through has done some phenomenal work over the last 20 plus years. Where do you see the center going in the next 5 years, and what do you want to see the center really aspire in the next, in the future?
Thanks, Joe. I would be remiss not to mention the fact that the success of Shining Through is seen primarily through the success of the children that have come there. My son Freddie, who's one of the beginning children, is the first graduate of Shining Through, and because of Shining Through, effectively, he's allowed to stay home by himself and is very independent within our household, and he used to work at Longo's before he got ill. But more importantly, what I'm really proud is the brand that we created at Shining Through, that we are recognized as perhaps the leading or one of the leading institutions for ABA, IBI therapy for young children and young adults. We've come such a far way that from our original location that Val talked about in Woodbridge, we now have 3 locations, the Woodbridge one, the Streetsville location in Streetsville, location on Yonge Street in North York, and a remote location in Thunder Bay. And our growth continues. In fact, we're looking to expand and move from our Yonge Street location to a new location in that area, which I should tell all the viewers and the supporters tonight is going to cost us somewhere, at least to Shine Through alone, over $500,000. So funds are going to be really necessary to help us fulfill that project. But from a long-term perspective, we are looking at our children today and what can we provide for them in the future as they become young adults. So again, to our supporters and people that are watching tonight, those who have job opportunities or volunteer opportunities, we'd be more than happy to connect with you and to see what our children can actually do. It's been a phenomenal success, and we're just very proud of who we are and what we've become. So again, on behalf of my son, I want to thank my colleagues here, Val, John DiBartolo, Umberto, Ted, and my best friend Johnny at the end, for all the work that they've done, and you too, Joe, as a current board member, and the new board members and past board members that have helped create Shining Through to what it is today.
I just want to say finally thank you to the 6 of you. It was a story that I felt had to be shared, and it's an inspirational story, and it's an amazing story. So again, thank you to the 6 of you for sharing your story today.
That seemed like so long ago, yet yesterday as well. And we have some phenomenal stories, but we don't have the time to explain them all. Right now, I'd like to take this opportunity to show the viewers past events for your viewing pleasure.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to put your hands together for the 2019-2020 Shining Through Stars.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming your 2019-2020 Shining Through Stars. From Woodbridge, Ontario, wearing number 87, last year's winner of the hardest shot competition, Josh Martini. From Woodbridge, Ontario, last year's league leader in goals, playing left wing, number 99, Noah Martini. From Vaughan, Ontario, last year's league MVP, wearing number 61, Julian Trozzo. From Aurora, Ontario, playing left defense, the Italian Stallion, and last year's leader in penalty minutes, wearing number 99, Anthony DiBartolo. second-rate defense from Vaughan, Ontario. Last year's league leader in assists, wearing number 66, Matthew Girardi. And in goal from Vaughan, Ontario, they call him Steady Freddy, wearing number 1, The Wall, Freddie Santini. Your 2019-2020 Shining Through Stars.
And ladies and gentlemen, your future Shining Through Stars, Lucas Cimelli, Vincenzo Riali, Francesco Magroni, JJ Levine, Michael Tupaz, Nathan Boyer, Andrew Didiano, Matthew Riddler, Dylan Scavoni, Liam Di Giovanni, Lucas Quattrociocchi, Vince Pateka, and finally Kiera Pateka. Ladies and gentlemen, your 2019-2020 Shining Through Stars.
My brother was diagnosed March 2004.
My brother was diagnosed in 2001.
My brother was diagnosed March 26, 2001.
October 1999.
February 4th, 2003. My brother was diagnosed March
2097. Lots of people have autism and we should cure that problem.
Hello, my name is Shiri Bartman. I'm the Clinical Director of Shining Through Center for Children with Autism. Shining Through Center for Children with Autism is here to help children and young adults and their families live with autism. So at Shining Through Center, we teach children a variety of skills, from academic skills like reading and numeracy to basics of play and matching and building and construction skills. The staff at Shining Through, the frontline teachers, are so critical to the development of skills in the children that we work with. They are instrumental. Autism is a highly treatable neurological disorder, and at Shining Through Center, we seek to develop programs that allow students to learn and achieve in order to meet their fullest potential.
Are you ready, everyone?
Ready?
You ready?
Yeah.
The frogs are told if I pick up my pens and jacket right now, then I will not have to pick them up tomorrow.
Today we work on a lot of skills, primarily language-based skills, but also routines throughout the day that will help our kids be successful at school and in life. And so we work on grooming. We teach kids to brush their teeth, wash their hands, wash their face, which we can take for granted as easy skills to learn, but they take a lot of time for some of our kids to acquire. So we practice many times so that they can be independent.
Reinforcers could be used aside from just when playing games and in the gym and with pairing programs, when doing educational activities like writing and math. You also can use their favorite, whether it's a cookie or watching videos on the computer. All these could be used to encourage the kids to continue doing their work and to learn, and they're motivated.
I've been doing this for many years, well, obviously since day one, and yet every time I watch the videos of the children, I always get moved. A lot of us were told that our kids would never speak, would never be able to associate with other children or do other activities, and probably think about things like institutionalizing them. Today, some of us wish our children would stop speaking because they never stop talking. And we owe all that to Shining Through. Thank you. I want to thank everybody for taking the time to not only just log on, but all the donations that you made. And your past support has been unbelievable, and we can't tell you how much we appreciate that. And I can't tell you how much it means that your importance to the center as far as who we are today and what we're doing today is totally dependent upon what you've done for us in the past. I want to again bring you up to the donation page, not to talk about money, but this is why we're doing this, let's be honest. Here's an opportunity now to help Shining Through. Here's an opportunity now to continue to allow these children to advance. And again, it allows you also to make a donation to the center directly, or for the center itself, or specifically to a child that you may know, that you have a family connection with, that you have an affinity to. Under the Family Support Fund, 4.4, I believe, 4.A, I believe, under the message section, you can specifically mention a family name, and that allows your funds to be directed to a child for their subsidy for the tuition. It's an extraordinary amount of money to come to Shining Through. It's over $65,000 a year for a full-day program. And I probably got that number wrong, and I'm probably on the low end. Yeah, Joe's looking at it at the low end. But it's an incredible amount of money. But the families are doing this because they know it makes a difference for their child's future. Again, please, I ask you to look at that donation page and make a donation. Anything above $25 will get you a tax receipt. And the undying gratitude and appreciation, not only from the board, the center, the families, but specifically the children of Shining Through. Now, without further ado, I'm also happy to announce that March 4th, we will have a real gala. We will have hopefully 1,400 people attend again. I'll have the opportunity to, unless they fire me from doing this, I'll have the opportunity to speak to real people as opposed to a camera. And make sure, again, that I don't swear in front of everybody, despite the bets that my colleagues have that I'm going to. And one year I may surprise them, and I will. But March 4th, we will be having our gala, and I'm looking forward to seeing all of you again. And those who haven't been there before, I'm looking forward to seeing the new people. And please feel free to come and say hi to me. I'd love to meet you. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd like to hear your ideas. And again, thank you, everybody, for helping Shining Through. You guys have been great. Thanks. Oh, one last second before I forget. I want to specifically thank Joseph Trozzo as the chair of the fundraising committee. His undying dedication and commitment to the center has been unbelievable. He's called me at least 75 times this week, 10 times today. But his heart and soul are dedicated to Shining Through, and without him, we wouldn't be doing this tonight. So thank you, Joseph.